Hello and welcome to the Computer Game Show. My name's David Turner. I'm here with Matt Murray.
Yes, I'm here.
I'm also here with Capone Adam.
Hello for the fourth time. Can you hear me?
Okay, they don't need to know that we've tried to record this 4 times.
We've had 3 takes.
They can think that we'll go straight into the show. They don't need to know that information, Capone. It's fine.
Well, you like to make it, like to be transparent, don't you, in the show?
First of all, I'd like to say sorry for the apologies from Sean and James this week. James is still dealing with some horrible shit, and he's got to send love to him, is what I'm saying. He's dealing with some shit at the moment. Sean, likewise, he's had a horrible weekend, and he just couldn't make the show today. He's probably asleep right now, and I don't blame him. So we were not panicking. We were quite up for doing a 2-man show this week, weren't we, Matt?
Yeah, we could comment off that.
And then we thought, we'll ask a few people. Like, I really want to get Tamor back on, but he's working his arse off at the moment. And we just chanced our luck with Capone Adam, and here he is. Now, some of you don't know.
Why didn't you go to Leon Cox?
Well, I mean, do you want me to start that now? Right. Some of you don't know who Capone Adam is.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, I know. He used to be internet famous for several reasons. One, for being on JoyPod when we were doing a podcast called JoyPod. 2, because he used to do a very popular Twitter account a long time ago called Peter Molyneux, which was the parody Peter Molyneux account that took over the world for 5 minutes. And you know, that's since died out a little bit, but he's still...
I did a tweet the other day that got over 1,000 retweets. So
to be fair, that's better than what Matt does, so fair play here. You did edit an episode, was it 2 years ago now?
Yeah, it was episode 41 you edited.
Caused a bit of mayhem, but, you know, you're not editing this one, so it's alright. If you're freaking out, wondering when the audio's going to skip and start doing some weird shit, it's not going to do it this week. Capone is simply a guest.
If you want me to do another one, I'll do one in the future. Just saying, like, in the future sometime, I'd be happy to do another one. Not this one. I don't want to do it because I'm on it.
Really?
He wants to save the gold.
You wanna just edit. You never want to edit one that you're on.
No. I've done that in the past, but it's just awkward.
I know, you edited the whole of Celebrity Big Brother.
Yeah.
Me, you and him, you edited.
I
don't understand where this rule has come from.
Yeah, it is a bit weird.
Have you only just realised that isn't a rule? That wasn't a rule that you've ever had in your head?
I've done so many shows where I have been on it.
Yeah. Well done. Yeah, you have done so many shows that you have been on it. How have you been, Capone? How's life in Canada?
Good. For the 4th time.
No, I know, but we're trying to pretend that this is still...
So we'll just pretend that no one knows that. Okay.
Well, no one did know that until you said that. That's the problem.
Right.
That's just...
How's life in Canada?
Oh, I've become a citizen.
Oh, have you? Have you?
Yep.
Well, how is that different now? Are you feeling different about that?
Well, it allows me to do new things now.
Right, okay, do a new thing then. Don't say the same answer. Come on.
Don't say the same answer that the people haven't heard before.
Come on, mate. What's different about being Canadian now? Do you feel any different? Is it more fun? Do you prefer being Canadian rather than British or whatever you were before?
Means I can do the politics.
You can do the politics. What does that mean?
You can do the politics now. That's good.
The vote thing. I can
You've
vote
been
now.
voting.
So
that's not doing the politics. You can now vote, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
And have you voted yet?
No.
Okay. I've got a couple of bones to pick with you, really. The first being, I mean, this is the first time we've spoken in years.
Yeah.
And I had noticed on your Facebook and Twitter accounts that you have been over to England and you've met various people around me. You know, didn't you go for lunch with James Farley at one point? You've definitely met up with Matt. Did you go to lunch with Matt? No, I'm sure you went to lunch with Farley.
No. I've never... I don't think I've met Farley.
Have you? Did you go to lunch with Matt? a year or two ago?
No, he meant we tried, but he couldn't make it.
I'm sure I'd seen a picture. Okay, how about you met up with Tim from Spong, who used to work at Spong? Yeah. You've also been in and around London, so I don't understand why we haven't met up. What's going on?
I don't think I was in London for that long.
Oh, no. So what did you do in London while you were over here?
I went to Trafalgar Square and looked in an art museum.
Yep. Did you have fun in the art museum? What did you see there?
There's just lots of paintings.
What, just jokes, I assume. Were you sure you didn't walk into a comedy club? You saw lots of paintings.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Okay. Well, we've got a bit of an announcement to make first, haven't we, Matt? Before we go to the follow-up. First of all, we have to extend... You all right? First of all, we'd like to extend an apology because your podcast apps might have gone crazy over the past week or so. If you subscribe to this podcast, there's a reason for that. It was randomly downloaded stuff. Matt was going crazy in the thing going, we've made it. Look how many downloads we've had today. And then we realised that it was just pushing downloads to everyone's app.
I think that was quite the language I was using. But
what was it?
I was like, lol, we look at our download figures. Oh, it might be because we've done that thing.
No, it took a little while. There was a bit of a gap there, Matt. So the announcement is we are officially going independent.
Independent.
We've gone independent. We're independent now.
We're independent
now.
Sean and James love indie so much, we've become an indie.
Are you still on that radio show with Snoop Dogg?
Yeah, we're still on Dash Radio, yeah.
Okay.
That's back.
Yeah, we're on Dash Radio, baby. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but no, what I'm saying is that we've left Spong.
Yeah.
And I do have a couple of things to say about this, but, serious. It's got nothing to do with anything's happened between us or anything like that. It just got to the point where we need to take control of the feed and we need to take control of everything we're doing, in terms of PR and stuff like that. We needed to sort of separate from Spong in some regards. I'd also like to say, genuinely, seriously, the time we've had with Spong, now we joined in JoyPod, God knows when that was. That was probably 2007, 2008, something like that.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
And they basically, if it wasn't for Spong, I wouldn't be podcasting now because I was just about ready to jack everything in after Play Radio died. And they stepped in and said, hey, we'll host and we'll deal with all of the tedious bullshit that goes along with hosting a podcast. And I was like, yep, I'll take that. If it's just the fun bits that I get to do, then all good. And the people that work there that have helped us out over the years, Tim, who's not been there for a while, Mark, who took over, and, Gareth, who stepped in as when he needed to, Marcus. Is it Marcus?
Marcus, yeah.
I haven't really had to deal with him often, but he was, sort of higher up, and I'm just thankful that he didn't shout at me too much. I've got to say, thanks so much for looking after us for so long and being brilliant, and helping me, with my writing and stuff, because I'm not a writer, and sort of encouraging me to get behind the keyboard and try stuff out was something I'd never thought I'd get the chance to do. So yeah, I mean, I in some aspects I'm absolutely gutted that we're leaving Spong, but in other aspects I think it's going to be good for the show, and it just gives us that little bit more control that Matt's been crying out for ages.
Yeah, I mean, it was getting ridiculous, the amount of emails I was sending them. It was just made sense that I didn't have to do that, and it was, stop annoying them. We have the control. We can put out as many podcasts
the
we
less
want.
people Matt emails, the better, in my opinion. Put it that way. I mean, EGX, how that ever happened, how Resd ever happened after Matt sent about 40 emails a day about getting a table put on stage is
the fact is it didn't happen, and now look at us.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, all right, hold my hands up. You're right. So yeah, just that's a quick little announcement there. Nothing should change for you guys. We were worried that we were going to have to set up a new feed and you'd all have to transfer over, but we've managed to sort things out in the background, although admittedly firing off podcasts left, right and centre to everyone's mobile phone.
Yeah, I mean, so basically the feed's moved over, all the subscribers should have moved over. Obviously, if you're hearing this, chances are you're still subscribed. There may be some that may have somehow dropped off, but I don't know, but we can't, hopefully, if you're listening to this, you're still subscribed. And if for some reason you're not, but you're still hearing this, then please subscribe. Everything's moved over, so there shouldn't be any issues. No more podcasts should download. We can stop that. That's just what happens when you move a feed over. Every podcast app just thinks, I've downloaded all the new episodes that have arrived. And, yeah. So sorry about that, but that should be the end of it now.
Also, if you work in games, and especially in PR, please get in touch because we want to work.
No, please.
With people.
We are begging you, please.
Please, you got to complete it.
Please, you got to send us a code.
No, it's just we're obviously talking direct with people now, and we don't want to lose any contacts or anything. So yeah, if you want to get in touch with the show, the email is the computer game show. What is it?
It's
computergameshow at gmail.com.
It's the computergameshow at gmail.com.
Yeah. Get in touch.
Please.
Love you. It's funny.
Get in touch.
No one from Ubisoft has contacted us yet. Caponen. I know you work for them, so can you have a word?
What you wanting to get?
What are you wanting? Can you please?
That's what.
Can you work for Ubisoft? Get us put on a list somewhere.
Right. Like the other week, you complained about going to a Ubisoft conference. Not conference, like they invited you to a Assassin's Creed.
No, they invited Blake, and that was very different.
Yeah, and you like moaned about it, so I'm not gonna put you on
Adam,
list.
I wouldn't moan about it, so add my name and...
Okay, add yours.
Thanks.
Okay, fine. But under the computer game show, just put that in there. The email, because I get those emails
sure
as
that
well.
They don't send you to Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. No, I'm happy with that. That's fine.
Maybe put it in our notes. Just say, love to get all the games, great. Please send us the games, but don't send them to Assassin's Creed event because they will kick off.
Yeah. Get in touch. Should we do the feedback?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
Actually, before we get into proper feedback, just a couple of words on our Kickstarter. So that we've loads of people got back to us about the sizes they want and what sort of stuff. There are still some people that are still waiting for your information. So I'm going to name and shame you. There's only 3 of you.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. That's not fair. You can't do that.
Doxing.
No, you said that in the WhatsApp group the other day. Let me name and shame him.
Shame
please
is,
don't do
I
that.
was just going to say, okay, forget about it. Anyway,
right,
I sent them messages, just
we've just received an email from someone with the details, so that's good. If you haven't submitted your emails, I think there's only 2 of you now.
There's 3
Please get in touch because...
There's 3 people we're still waiting for, so if you've got any messages...
There was 3 people this morning, and someone's just emailed us.
Oh, amazing.
So how many is that? How many is that, Matt?
I haven't checked emails on podcasting, David.
2 now, isn't it? 2 people left.
I'll have to do some sums, but I think so, yeah.
Please get in touch, and then we can order the T-shirts and get them out to everyone. Cool. I don't want to name them. Do you really want to name them? That just seems well harsh to me. I wasn't going to shame.
I'm just going to say, just please respond to the message because we were desperate to all these things, but whatever.
That should be enough.
I mean, it should be, but whatever.
Right,
I won't go into
it. Adam, did you order a T-shirt?
I gave you some money, but I didn't want a T-shirt.
Oh yeah, you did. You gave us money for literally no reason.
Why did you do that?
Surely that's the reason most people did it. They didn't really want the T-shirts. They just wanted to say thanks for living it.
Yeah, no, but the PayPal thing, then Kickstarter wouldn't have taken a cut.
Oh, so I could have just given you money directly?
Yeah.
Well, if I did it through PayPal, they would have taken my money, wouldn't they?
Wouldn't you not, if you send it as a gift? When you were in London, you could have just bought cash.
But
just giving me cash.
He was seeing the art, Dave.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the art. But that's free. That's all free now, isn't it? You go to a museum. I mean, there's those little perspex boxes that are like...
Where you live in... Where is it you live?
Have a guess, go on.
Not Millwall.
No, I don't live in Millwall. No.
Any other guesses?
Have a guess at the name of the place that I live in. Just pluck it out from your head. Scunthorpe, yeah, I live in Scunthorpe. You could have just popped into Scunthorpe while you were in London.
Something beginning with S.
Yeah, but, so beginning with S.
Just tell me, because otherwise it'll be boring podcast.
It's Sutton. I live in Sutton.
That's the one, yeah.
Okay, Scunthorpe's a very different part of the country. Matt, feedback.
Yeah, Sutton's full of like murders and stuff. I'm not gonna take my girlfriend to go to. There's like fires and.
There's fires.
Can we go on to feedback?
Yeah, I definitely saw something on the news about Sutton. Vandalism or something.
What, over in Canada? Was that like the news at 9? There's a fire in Scunthorpe. Sorry, Sutton.
There's some vandalism and that. Matt, come on, let's go.
Vandalism in Millwall. Andre Gushwen.
Acid attacks.
Yeah. What? Okay, I'm going to move on from that. So we tweeted out, so that, this is fairly recent feedback. We tweeted out that Sean and James weren't able to make it. Andre Gushwend tweets in, 100% skipping this episode. Half of the cast I like is not on, and the other half will probably spend half the podcast whining about the World Cup without Sean to represent the same people who don't care about football. We're not actually going to mention that once, so don't need to.
Did I annoy you with the tweet, Matt?
No, it's funny.
What was your tweet?
I said I kind of waited 2 days, and then I said, "Oh, so it's not coming home then?" And I thought that was quite funny because I'd waited 2 days to do it.
We should probably mention that last week's show, listening back to it literally 2 days after it came out, was the most horrific thing of all time.
I listened to it today and it made me feel sad.
We just sounded so happy, Matt.
Yeah,
we sounded so happy
in our hearts.
I know. And then people would like going, they're out. And I'm like, oh. Also, I took it too far on Twitter again. On the night, I thought it would be hilarious to just tell everyone to fuck off as a mirror image of someone that's been saying, we're going to win it. We're going to win the World Cup all the way. Like, just completely have a breakdown. And I woke up the next morning with a massive hangover and checking my DMs of me saying, oh, I'm only joking, by the way, including a text message to you, Matt, a DM to Simon Miller saying, sorry, mate, I'm only joking.
Didn't someone block you on Twitter for it?
Someone blocked me on Twitter. Yeah. I mean, they did say they took it a bit harsh. They didn't take it harsh. They were sending me some harsh messages about how shit England were, and I just went back with a equally as harsh message. But I think he thought I was being serious, and I wasn't. I was just mucking about, just playing into the bant. I'm not apologising again though, because I've done that once. I'll just listen back to an older show and you'll get the idea.
Yes.
Yeah, horrible to listen back to that show. Horrible. We fucked it. We absolutely fucked it. We were 1-0 up after 5 minutes and we fucked it, Matt.
But okay, let's not go into it because I'll start crying on the pod. Charlie Evans. Now, last week we talked about the ArenaNet firing, the fact that ArenaNet, maker of Guild Wars 2, fired 2 people because they had a bit of a Twitter spat with someone. Anyway, this is from Charlie Evans, regarding the ArenaNet firing scandal and Sean's comments regarding capital G gamers now feeling like they have the power to fire game devs, I'd like to point you towards a series of tweets by an Australian game dev shortly after this occurred. Now, this is a woman called Jennifer Sherl, I think, and basically someone had tweeted her company saying, by the way, this Jennifer, she's like supporting like women's rights and she's anti-male, blah, blah, blah. Basically, like, essentially, again, talking, gamers tweeting into employers saying you should probably let this woman go because she's saying things which don't link in with the needs of the gamers, whatever. Anyway, so thankfully in this instance, Jennifer's employers were 100% behind her, but this is the sort of thing that happens way too often to many of Charlie's female game dev friends. He thinks Jessica's reaction isn't totally excusable, with the abuse and death threats hurled at female and non-binary game devs still fresh in anyone's memory. While DeRoya may not have had ill intent in his comments, the dogpiling of Jessica that happened shortly afterwards shows that the Gamergate movement isn't dead. It's disheartening to say the least, and while Jessica's initial comments may not have been well considered as they could have been, the response by ArenaNet was way out of proportion and has definitely caused a rift in the Guild Wars community.
Is that the end of the email?
That's it, yeah.
I mean, you're absolutely right. There's no getting around that. You're absolutely right. And, I mean, I hope you don't think at any point during the discussion last week that I was thinking anything otherwise. We were talking about, I mean, for starters, it's the first time I actually properly heard what had happened. It was the first story I'd heard. I think my opinions were still valid in the fact that she was terrible on that Twitter account. When I went after the show, I read the tweets she sent and he sent, and I was like, fucking hell, mate, you can't just go around branding people like that. But equally, if she got fired over just those tweets, then that is ridiculous. And I think that the stance that they took, especially with that post explaining the firing, or with that message explaining the firing, I think you're absolutely right. What you're doing there is you're empowering a bunch of fucking dickheads that now will take that and try and get other female developers fired. Because definitely. For no other reason but because they're pricks. Like, that's it. So I'm totally with you, and as I say, I hope you don't think that I thought otherwise. What I was doing was reacting to the tweets themselves, which I still stand by and think it's ridiculous. Like, people have been trying to argue, or people have been arguing, right? And I get their point, that female devs get anything that they say, it gets immediately sort of argued with by jumped up male gamers, right? But that doesn't give you the right to completely publicly class someone, like put someone under that bracket, put someone in that pigeonhole and say, oh, look at this guy, he's mansplaining to me, or he's she didn't say that, but she indicated that he was only challenging her point of view because she is female, and A, there was no evidence to suggest that, B, he was being quite polite. If she'd have come back with, no, this is why your opinion doesn't work, that makes for a better discussion overall. But that, as we know, that's not how it works on Twitter, and that's not what happens. So, I mean, if it was solely based on those tweets, the two people that got fired from, what was it, ArenaNet?
Yeah.
Then, I mean, ridiculous. Like, it is ridiculous. And the closest thing that I can think of is if someone was slagging off a building I was working on, a member of the public was slagging off a building I was working on, and I laid into them. I mean, genuinely, I think I would get fired for that. I genuinely would, but I think I would get fired, because you just can't do that shit. But, what she was doing there, if that's all it was, then, and by the sounds of it, she's been very, vocal with these opinions in the past, for her not to get, like, at least a warning or something. I don't know. Not even a warning, just a, look, you can't just chill out with that shit.
Again, we don't know the internal politics. She may have had warnings. So we don't know.
Of course. But then the interviews with her afterwards seem to suggest that she didn't, and that it come out of the blue a bit. So, I can only go on with what I've read. And I agree, we don't know the internal politics, but at the end of the day, that does not give anyone, like, that's the problem. The way she was fired is a huge problem, because, as you say, it empowers dickheads, and they go on a rampage and try and do it again. It's like some sort of weird scalp.
Yeah, they've got the power now, and it's not the same subjects in any way, shape or form, but just when people essentially complained enough to get the Mass Effect ending changed, it's given power to, like, groups of people online. They will just keep complaining, and now we'll do that as well, because they've done it once, so they'll do it again.
Maybe, but I see that as a completely different level. I mean,
it is,
complaining about, like, a Mass Effect ending is one thing, but, like, actually going out and targeting female game devs.
Yeah. And my God, they get enough as it is. It's just ridiculous. But it's messed up. It's messed up. And I just hope more devs step up and say, no, who are you? We're not firing this person. Yeah, it's like defend their own staff rather than just doing what they feel like the public has an opinion, so we should probably do whatever it takes to satisfy the public and not. I don't know. Again, we don't know, but it seems harsh.
Yeah, the only way to deal with that is just fucking take that power back and just flat out say that their opinions don't matter on this subject, and we'll deal with our staff. We don't need you. All right, okay,
cool. Anything on that?
Good
Adam?
Points.
No.
Okay.
Just wanted to check.
Great guest.
The best. On last week's show, I dropped a couple of bombshells. One, I don't wear deodorant, and two, I have a lot of what I called at the time stand-up showers in the day.
Can I just say before you continue, Matt? I didn't make this clear last week, and I fucking should have. I've known you for a long, long time, and you've never smelt. So let me just make that clear.
Yeah,
it's all right. It's okay.
I'm very conscious of it, and I don't think I smell anyway. But yeah, I don't use deodorant.
Do you have
have
a substitute?
I mean, I wear aftershave, but I don't have deodorant.
You can't spend it over the BO
shower gel.
And regular shower gel, yes.
Yeah, okay. Just
All right,
checking.
go on.
Yeah, so anyway, the reason I didn't do that is because when I was young, my mum had bad headaches, and to the point where even if I wore aftershave, I had to go outside the house and spray it, and I certainly wasn't allowed deodorant. Anyway,
Well, just imagine you out in the garden, like someone peering over the fence, and you're just spraying it into the air and walking into it.
Before I was going out to the mean streets of Bognor Regis for a cheeky Swift pint, I had to go outside in the freezing cold to put aftershave on. Waiting for my taxi.
Rubbing FHM on your neck.
Oh, and get paper cuts. Yeah, those are days. Ustavu, SMW on Twitter. In defence of Matt Murray, I don't use deodorant either. I have some emergencies. I have it on me for some emergencies, but I don't put it on every day.
On you? You carry a little can around with you?
Well, he says he has some for emergencies, so that's not necessarily on him. That's my okay. Cammy Toeman. Here's him quoting me. I don't use deodorant because the spray gave my mum a headache. Ever heard of roll-on, you smelly bastard?
That's a good point.
Very good point. I didn't think of that. I just thought, forget it.
There must have been a period, though, where you stank.
Oh, yeah, probably, yeah. But,
do you know what I mean?
So what was it?
Like, you were saying, your body got used to it or whatever, but there must have been a period where...
I don't remember profusely sweating when I was younger, but obviously everyone started using Lynx because it's like, hey, I'm 12 now, I'm a man, and I just didn't bother. Okay. I'm sure there was. Who cares? I mean, whatever. Mate, I had curtains back then. I was hardly fighting them off. Tom Dougherty or Dougherty. Matt, do you not think if you started using deodorant, you wouldn't need what you call stand-up shower during the day? Possibly. But deodorant doesn't stop you sweating. It just stops you smelling, right? So
do you have open toilets? Can someone walk in on you having a stand-up shower?
No, I go into a disabled toilet.
Right.
Everyone who works with me listening to this think, what the okay, wonder what he's been doing in there. Curtis, has Matt Murray ever heard of a whore's bath? Stand-up shower, indeed. Andy Palmer, Remalaptar on Twitter. Matt's right, your body does get used to not wearing deodorant. My father-in-law's never wore deodorant. He works in a hot factory all day and somehow doesn't smell. I mean, I've never got properly in there for a good sniff or anything, but he's been BO3 since 53. That's a great line. Do you wear deodorant, Adam?
I use both antiperspirant and...
so was that?
Antiperspirant.
Yep, okay, right.
And, and deodorant.
Right. Why?
Because otherwise I would smell.
Well, I know, antiperspirant stops you sweating.
That's what I use. I use the white Lynx cans. I use that stuff. Stops me sweating.
But yeah, that's all long. Yeah.
I'm sick to death of being hot and sweaty. Maybe, this year I'm going to buy a can of deodorant or antiperspirant, or whatever it is. And then I'll report back. How about that, guys? Shall I do that? Shall I wear antiperspirant for the first time in my life? And I'll report back. I'll buy some Lynx Africa as well. And then I'll report... if the Lynx effect has happened in my office.
I just got a feeling that you're going to put it on and then, within an hour, it's just sweat pouring out of your mouth. It's going to break the seal, open it up, it's just spray everywhere.
It's going to break the seal for 20 years. It's just
it's a bit
pouring
of
out.
Stress, isn't it? Like, I got, I changed my brand recently because it was, Dove Men. And it annoys me whenever I see, like a men version of something. It's
okay. Why does that annoy you?
Because they try to target it at men, like it's like in the shape. It's grey.
Yeah, but if anything, it's better. It's usually cheaper, isn't it?
No.
Okay.
So I switched to Old Spice, which I don't like as much, but I feel more.
What's not to like?
I feel better about it, but it's frustrating. I just wish they did normal. Shower gel.
Right, okay, we weren't talking about shower gel, but fine. Okay.
They do normal shower gel, but we'll move on. Kurt Lewin.
I just imagine Matt, I just imagine Adam just pouring shower gel onto his armpits and thinking, just wiping it in. Walking in with sudsy arms.
But you maybe use one where it's like blue or it's like or green. It's like, what is that stuff on your? I can see through your shirt. Kurt Lewin, tips for keeping cool in bed at night. This is sort of content I like. 1, wrap those ice blocks you get in lunch boxes in a tea towel and take to bed with you. Now that sounds amazing.
Madness.
That sounds amazing.
Madness.
Fill a hot water bottle with ice cubes and cold water.
Ridiculous. Go on.
Buy a cooling mattress topper. They're quite cheap if I remember correctly. We have a mattress topper now, but I'm not sure it's a cooling one, but whatever.
That sounds horrible.
No, because it's like super soft. On top of a memory foam mattress is unbelievable. Anyway,
but just cold. I mean, he said get a cold one or whatever.
Yeah,
what did he say?
Yeah, get a cooling mattress topper.
Fuck that. Go on.
And finally, buy the cooling mats you buy for dogs to lie on. I must say, I do actually have a cooling pillow. And I put on top of it's like this blue thing. It's called Chillo. It's called a Chillo. Anyway, it's called Chillo. So I put my chin on top of my pillow, and that's like, that feels amazing. Sometimes I put it on my legs if I'm poorly.
Do you know what I do? I like setting up a little bonfire in the corner of the room. Sleeping next to that.
I can't believe you have covers on in this weather. Weren't
you talking about this last week?
We were, and this is the follow-up section where we talk about things that happened last week. Do you remember that?
Oh.
Have you got anything? What was that?
Like, I only, because it's feedback, isn't it? So that makes sense why it'd be
thank you, yeah.
Topic.
Yeah. Have you got any feedback from the last couple of shows?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. When you were talking about the hotel game?
Yes, the Spectrum Retreat.
Yes, that's it. It was really annoying because it sounded interesting, but I sort of forgot the name of it. And then at the end, you didn't mention what it was called. So I was just going to suggest, in the future, when you're talking about a game, at the end, like the professional thing to do is just to, say the game again in case someone's interested.
Okay. Have you got pen and paper there?
I've got a pen.
Have you got? We'll just write on the back of your hand. Ready?
Yeah.
You ready? The Spectrum Retreat.
The Spectrum's Retreat.
The Spectrum
Retreat.
Single Spectrum.
Right.
Okay. There's no S's at the end of any of those words.
Yeah, but I didn't have a pen on me when I was listening to it last week.
But you got it now, haven't you?
Yeah.
Good.
Thanks.
Matt, is that it for feedback?
Shawnee, is Dave alright? He wraps up in bed at night to avoid creepy crawlies, not understanding the point of a coat, and potentially need a holiday and or therapist. Wink.
What? I mean, yes, I definitely do need a holiday. It's ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous now. I've not actually been abroad for 5 years.
You can have a holiday in the UK.
No, we've had holidays in the UK. We went to the Isle of Wight. Yeah, but it's not really, is it? And honestly, it's not really a holiday when you're going along with a 4-year-old.
But it doesn't matter if you're in like the States or in Bognor. It's not a holiday with a 4-year-old.
Yeah, true.
I'm booking my holiday today.
Where are you going?
Are you coming to Leeds or?
No, I'm doing the Carib.
Oh, here we go. Where are you going?
Well, you go to Caravan.
Where are you going?
You go to a caravan.
Caribbean.
Caravan. Oh, Caribbean.
Caribbean cruise.
Oh, cruise?
14 days.
How much is that costing you?
For 14 days?
Yeah.
Wow. The guests.
How much is that?
Don't ask him that.
No, I will ask him that. How much?
About 7,000.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, in Canadian money, it's probably like 40 quid around here. Don't worry about it.
He's got Ubisoft money, mate. He's rolling it in.
That's well done. Good luck.
It's all those microtransactions.
It's all that. It's all loot boxes, isn't it? It's fine.
It's all those loot boxes.
Andy Hamilton.
We don't do loot boxes.
Oh, Andy, you're not talking on behalf of the company, though, are you? You're not representing them?
No. Anything I say is not my own personal
not your own personal
does not
views.
represent that of the company.
Right, okay.
I'm glad you got that script out of the way.
So next Assassin's Creed definitely got loot boxes then. That is confirmed. Eurogamer, write that down. Put that out there.
Yeah, we got the exclusive, boys! Right. Andy Hamilton. Okay. Dave's played another indie game, I see. Another solid 7. I mean, I laughed when I saw the tweet.
What was that? I don't get it.
He's responding to the fact that you play a Spectrum Retreat and he's saying it's Game of the Year.
Right, okay. No, I didn't. I mean, I thought it was, but I'll get onto my final opinion.
It does sound a bit like that game that you'll, like, just in terms of you getting really excited about a game, saying that it's going to be the most amazing game, and then it kind of doesn't.
Future Unfolding.
What's that game?
Future
Unfolding, that's it. I wonder, is it going to be one of those again?
I've got some quick-fire questions for you here, Capone. Okay. Right. Do you prefer the Nintendo Switch or the Xbox?
That's hard.
No, quick fire. Quick fire. Football or ice hockey?
Football.
Living in Canada or living in England?
Canada.
Where's the next Assassin's Creed set?
Barbados. No, it's Greece.
Yeah, we already know it's Greece.
Oh, fuck, yeah, we do, don't we? I thought we were going to get an exclusive out of him. Fuck! Alright, okay,
anyway,
I'm going to
the last bit of feedback with an email from Thomas Lama Fluff 42. Now, I've already read this email twice, and so I'm going to read strong reading this, because generally when I read this first time, I got a bit of lump in my throat, so I'll be fine. Recently, we had an epic 8-hour drive after holiday to Devon, and spent much of that journey, howling with laughter, attracting some strange looks for some other motorists. That's because we decided to while away the monotonous hours of motorway driving by revisiting some of our favourite episodes of the computer game show. There have been so many amazing moments, like Dave's tale of Luigi's decapitation, James pitching Brexit to his wife in a vain attempt to justify a day one Switch purchase, the back and forth on sheer treachery on display during the Game of the Year shows, Farley's farting, Serial Gate, the Splatoon invisibility chat. I could go on and on. Suffice to say, I don't think you guys quite realise the impact of the show. I've said this in feedback before, but there have been many times when I felt at a low ebb recently, and I've always found comfort in listening to TGCS. Fuck's sake, TCGS, and it never fails to lift my spirits. The chemistry between you all is key to the show. There's genuine love behind the hilarious bickering. So thank you guys for the funnest and most entertaining show on earth. You may not have invented podcasting, but you certainly created the very best one. And I know we don't usually read that much glowing praise, but that really got to me in a nice way. So thank you, Thomas. That's an amazing email to receive.
It's funny, isn't it? We're always more comfortable reading the emails that are slating us than we are the ones praising us a little bit.
Yeah,
do you know what I
mean?
Definitely. Thanks so much. And the only thing that I can say to that is that I think in the nearly 3 years, is it 3 years we've been podcasting, we've been doing TCGS, in that time, with all of the presenters of this show have been through some horrible real life stuff. And for some reason, when that happens, we all say to each other, I just can't wait to get back to recording. And what I'm saying is that some of the messages that we've got, especially, at the end of the year show, we get a few of these messages, and that was a really, really nice one to receive this week. I suppose what I'm saying is that we've been there as well. And we've used this podcast as a crutch at times for our own personal stuff. And when you hear that the listeners are going through the same sort of shit, then it sort of means a hell of a lot to you, because we get that feeling from it as well. Yeah. And that's part of the reason why we do it. So
we've all gone through shit, and I've used podcasts myself to sort of make, cheer myself up, and also recording every week it does that to me. So, it's amazing to hear that others, to take as much pleasure in it as we do, trying to put it out there and making it good for everyone. So I know it's a bit up our own arse, but also I love that email. So thanks so much, Thomas.
Yeah, thank you.
And that's it for feedback. If you want to leave us feedback, it's at ComputerGamePod on Twitter, or you can email thecomputergameshow@gmail.com.
That's the one. Right, should we do the news?
Yeah, let's.
I've got the news. I don't really know what the stories are. Well, you can do it if you want. I mean, I'm not good at reading the news. Oh, pardon me, and that's why I don't do it. I've just burped at the intro, so that doesn't help. But we'll give it a go. I'll just read the headlines, shall we? And James is going to go, oh, see, it's not that easy. James, I'm not a newsman. I never claimed to be. You were the one that was like, oh, I'm the real news guy. Nathan Fillion starred in a fan-made Uncharted movie. And now, this came out today, right?
It did, yeah.
I don't get how it's legally possible to do this.
No, so obviously an Uncharted movie has been rumours for ages, and I think it might have got cancelled, and it's been whatever, there's been some production issues, or maybe it hasn't been happening at all, but clearly a Nathan Drake Uncharted movie has been around there in ether for a long while. Nathan Fillion last week, I think it was last week or maybe this weekend, started teasing something about Uncharted. And if you think, I think he's been linked to the role before. Maybe people want him because he feels like
Who's Nathan Fillion again? What's he done?
He's in Firefly.
I know he's in Need 3 or some shit. Well, Firefly,
everyone loves him for that. He's probably in loads of other stuff, which I was not aware of.
So he's in Firefly.
Yeah,
right,
but basically, for a long time, people said, him as Drake would be perfect. I guess looks similar-ish, and then the sort of humor he brought to his roles before would work perfectly well. And basically, his production team with director Alan Unger has basically produced this 15-minute Nathan Drake short live action film, basically.
Are they angling to get the job?
This was like the biggest, audition ever.
Yeah.
And have you watched the thing yet?
I've skimmed through it. I mean, it wasn't for me.
Have you watched it, Adam?
Yeah. It kind of felt a bit. I mean, it's impressive that they've done it.
Yeah,
but that's exactly what I felt, Capone. I was watching it going, all right, okay, yeah, they've done it a bit like Uncharted. Okay, I didn't watch it going, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, go on.
Yeah, it just seemed, like the Tomb Raider movie. Like, if it just came out tomorrow and it was all like that, it would just be like a 57% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I mean that's very specific, but I mean. Yeah, and I'm fully aware of the fact that they probably had next to no budget to do it, so it's kind of hard to really sort of judge it on cinema standards, if you know what I mean, like Blockbuster standards, not Blockbuster the shop. I'm talking about,
sure.
Whatever. But yeah, I mean, I watched it and I went, okay.
Have you seen Papers, Please?
The Papers, Please one was excellent.
Yeah, that was.
Have you seen that, Matt?
No, I haven't seen it. I saw it go around, but I never played it. I never played it, and also didn't watch the movie.
You never played the game?
I had it on. I might have played 15 minutes when I was on a bundle once, and I just didn't go back. But
oh, mate, it's really good. But yeah, no, the short film they did of it was superb. So if you've not seen that, I would definitely watch that instead of the
Uncharted. Actually, basically, there is. According to a report, there is a Uncharted movie coming out soon. It's got Tom Holland in it, who plays Spider-Man currently. He's going to be playing a young Nathan Drake meeting Sully for the first time. That was said in 2017.
So they're going against the plot of the games?
I don't know. Just
sounds like the beginning of Uncharted 3.
It's a prequel.
No, because but he's a kid.
Like
he's
a meeting we saw in Uncharted 3.
Shit.
Yeah,
but he's a kid. He's not 5, but he's 10 years old. So they're going to dress him as a 10-year-old.
Well, maybe I don't know.
Flashbacks.
I'm just saying that's what it works. I mean, I watched this 15-minute thing, and I thought I would definitely watch a feature-length version of that. I mean, it's very much like the game. There's the same sort of dialogue, same sort of quips and whatnot. But he's just such a likable guy on screen, Nathan Fillion. It's just it was great to watch. But
Sully was far too much of a cartoon in it, though, wasn't he? Like the character the fella that played Sully, it was just oh, come on.
Yeah, the Sully guy could have done a bit more work, I think, but yeah.
It was like because in the games and that, he's such a cool character, and all right, it's ridiculous because he's this guy, he's got this massive cigar in his mouth all the time or whatever. But when you see it in that short film, you're like, the fuck is this?
Yeah. Also, maybe it's just me. And maybe I'm saying too much here, but in the games, I got the impression he is more sort of like a lovable rogue, sort of older guy, but still I'm going to say hit with the ladies. Where this guy in the trailer had a really tough paper round. It was not the same sort of vibe that I imagined from the game.
No, he didn't have see, Sully's got just this real confident, sort of
a bit like panache
feeling around him. Yeah, a bit of panache, bit of experience behind him. This guy was just.
This guy's like, I bought a massive cigar and I'm waiting in the Jeep. But anyway, I like the little 15-minute fan film, and he will be great for the role. And I mean, who knows? I mean, it's a great little audition. We'll see what happens. Probably nothing, but I liked it. I enjoy that.
Okay,
it looks good if you just want to go and watch something that's just a bit. If you only go to movies for a bit of fun and popcorn.
Popcorn, yeah, sure.
That's what I go there for. A little bit of fun and popcorn.
Well, I don't know. Like, I'm just one of those. One of the joys in life is sitting in the cinema and crying.
Capo, can you think of any other joys in life? If that's one of them, what's another one?
Playing a good game.
Anything else?
Oh, come on, that's such a weak answer.
Excelling in skills.
Oh, for Christ. I will say one thing about this Uncharted thing, right? This Uncharted thing, I think it'd be a lot less po-faced than like any of the Tomb Raider movies, which I feel like take themselves way too seriously. This one, no, it's stupid, hopefully. But
True, we've already spoken about this too much. Right, next story I've got here is more than half of parents let their kids play 18-plus video games. What is this based on, Matt? Is this based on actual facts? Or
childcare.co.uk surveyed more than 2,000 parents in the UK and found that more than half let their children play video games for over 18s without supervision or even knowledge of the game.
I can't believe that that's the case. I genuinely cannot believe that that's true.
Her 5-year-old play Saints Row.
Jesus Christ, really?
Yeah.
What, the main game or DLC?
The main game.
Get out of hell.
It's Saints Row 2.
Jesus, that's a really bad one as well.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it? I mean, I'm really shocked because you'd think that the further we go into this timeline, then more and more parents will have a bigger knowledge of what video games are and what they can do and what they can be, and like that's just mad to me.
Yeah, I mean, but basically, like I imagine, these old people just thought, well, it's just a computer game; it doesn't matter. Whereas it also says here that according to the same survey, just 18% of respondents said they would let a 10 to 14-year-old kid watch an 18-plus movie. So there's like a massive like difference between like them and playing an 18 game because they think it's just a game, who cares? And then people worry about video games wrecking people's lives and blah blah blah. It's like people need to pay attention to the ratings. They're there for a reason.
It's mad because everyone listening to this is, I think, knowledgeable and they must show an interest in games and they must have some sort of understanding of the content in a lot of these games. So it's kind of like we can't really do anything about it by talking about it here. But, I mean, I have to constantly tell parents, don't let your kid play that. That's mad. What are you doing? Even I'm quite surprised at the age of this Fortnite thing. Okay, it's not as horrific as most games, don't get me wrong, but it's still killing people, just running around with guns shooting at people. And I'm kind of like, yeah, I know, but, you see younger kids doing those dances and stuff, just in the street.
Yeah, everyone's flossing and you can't move for it.
Is flossing from Fortnite? Sorry?
How old should you have to be to
I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's binary. I think there's different kids can deal with that content. But the problem here is not that when you're 17 you shouldn't be playing GTA. When you're 18 you should be playing it, and maybe that's what's skewing these stats a little bit. But 12-year-olds playing GTA, I'm not. That's pretty fucked up in my opinion. That seems like way too young. But there you go. Whatever. I don't know what's going to happen when Harry's 12. I might just stick anything on to keep him quiet.
I do remember when I was younger.
No?
Like, I remember watching 18 movies, 18 rated horror movies when I was younger. That's maybe why I'm too scared of them now. But I mean, games. But basically because my parents certainly at the time didn't really look at the ratings. I mean, I guess it's probably a little bit different when I was a kid, but. Well, I know. I haven't said that. I played Resident Evil when I was maybe I was 13 actually. So.
Oh, I was playing 18 rated games at school when I was in middle school. So that would have been, I would have been a 10, 11 maybe.
I'll tell you what that is. Actually,
whenever that came
I remember
out.
when I was really young, I was playing like Carmageddon in Dixon's or whatever it was back in those days, like in the store. Like that was an 18 rated game, and they just let anyone play it.
Yeah, but then you've got to put that down to ignorance. We've been violent video games have been around for fucking ever now, so you'd expect them to be more whatever. Okay, right, we can't add to this discussion.
I mean, is there really a horrific video game that would really traumatize people?
What do you mean?
Like, what is the worst, most violent, horrific?
Well, I mean, I think Manhunt was pretty bad when it came out.
So if a 10-year-old played that, what do you think? would be the worst that could happen?
It's not like, okay, I see what you're saying, and it's not. I don't want to fall into that bracket of it's going to create murderers or whatever. I just, I mean,
it gives them nightmares or something.
Partly, I think more the fact that they don't need to see that stuff at that age. Do you know what I mean? Although when I was a kid, the violence was cool rather than horrific. Like, it was always cool, as it was. So I don't know. Yeah,
that's because you grew up in Scunthorpe. It's a bit different than the rest of the country.
It's true. All the fires around here, Matt. You can't move for fires around here. You just walk out your house.
You just punch in the fires. Like violence at school.
Just their button.
I'm going to fight a fire with my fists.
It's a good question. Would you let a 5-year-old play Hotline Miami?
No,
because I haven't got the dexterity to finish that game.
Yeah, that's part of it. They'd be rubbish at it. They'd be rubbish at it.
Just give it to me, for Christ's sake.
Nintendo UK are charging up to £180 for cracked Switch repairs. Well, when you say cracked Switch repairs, Matt, what does that mean?
I mean, when I say it, this is gamesindustry.biz, but basically...
you put the story in it.
Yeah. A listener suggested it, and it's a good one. So basically there's been loads of cracks. Actually, my one's got this crack around the events at the top. As well as up some also there's some bending and warping, but the widescreen cracks are the ones around the top, around like the grills. The events.
I'm gonna have to round the pair grills. I'm gonna have to pick my Switch up now. One sec.
Yeah, I mean, mine's had this for a long time. How about yours, Adam?
Cracks.
Yeah, have you noticed any cracks like where like the air vents are at the top?
Oh, okay, no.
Okay,
well, I haven't looked. I'd have to get.
I'm going to go anyway.
One sec.
Okay, everyone's good. Everyone's doing the pod. That's fine. Anyway, basically, Nintendo Life UK readers have done a report basically and said that the platform holder. Is it just me now on this pod?
No, I'm here. Because
Adam's left as well.
I've got no cracks on mine, so I'm happy.
Basically, the platform holder has been charged between 150 and 180 quid to repair it, and that's obviously a lot given that the machine itself is only like 279.
Basically, it does seem expensive, but I'm assuming that they're going to have to replace the full thing, right? It's weird, just for a bit of plastic. That's what they're charging.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it is weird, but I think it's very common. I think someone else I know has got it as well. Anyway, a statement from Nintendo UK has said that there hasn't been enough confirmed reports of the issue to warrant any action. So if anyone's got a cracked Switch, tell Nintendo so there will be action there. Just anyone who has suffered this damage to get in touch. This is a reoccurring theme for Nintendo. It seems like everything, like most of their hardware, their portable hardware that they bring out, there's some sort of problem like this. I mean, do you remember the DS Lite where the hinge would crack? Yeah.
Like that was just consistent.
Even the Switch, I remember when that came out and I was like, it was bending switches and also the dock was scratching screens, wasn't it? Remember that? That was massive.
Yeah.
When that first happened.
It's a bit of a pain. Adam, are you there?
Yeah. I just went to check on the Switch.
Is your Switch okay?
Yeah, no cracks.
It's just Matt's gutted.
It's just mine and everyone reading gamesindustry.biz. Anyway, it's an issue, so let's move on. 180 quid. Yeah. I mean, that's pricey, isn't it?
It's a bit of a piss take, but in good Nintendo news, Mario Kart 8 is due to get further updates. Now, this was a story that, I mean, everyone let their imagination run away with them, and I'm a little bit worried about this. Recently, they sent an update out for Mario Kart 8, and you can now use it with your Nintendo Labo. Yeah. You've got the motorbike controller. You can now use that on Mario Kart 8, which is brilliant. I think that's great. I didn't even think of that, stupidly, but that's a great little update.
Do you think they come with the Wii U?
What do you mean, mate?
Like, will that update be available for the Wii U?
Why would that happen? Why would they do that? What are you going to do? Stuff that massive, great big fucking pad into the side of your bit of cardboard?
I'm just
that's specifically designed for the Switch.
Connect?
Would it connect? Would what connect? The bit of cardboard? The cardboard doesn't connect to the console, Adam. It's cardboard.
Labo doesn't even work with Wii U, so I think we're good.
Yeah, but you don't need Labo to make the Mario Kart work.
The fuck are you talking about now? You don't need Labo to make the Mario Kart work.
Let's move on.
I don't mean the cardboard. I mean the game. Like,
right.
We've got to move on.
No, we don't. Adam, talk through your thought process here. Why would Nintendo Labo work with the Wii U version of Mario Kart 8?
Yeah, but the Wii U comes with a tablet, doesn't it? So you just replace the...
Have you seen the size of a Joy-Con compared to that fucking tablet?
Well, you could just do the cardboard as a wheel, and then, that becomes the controller.
Right. Let's just leave it as you could just do the cardboard as a wheel. Okay? All right, you're right. You're right. How is this not working? Bloody Nintendo not making Labo backwards compatible. All you got to do is do the cardboard as a wheel, Matt. That's all you got to do, mate.
Or do the backwards, whatever you just said. Right, let's move on.
Right, okay. But yes, no, obviously everyone then assumed that we're getting new tracks because in the interview, Nintendo said there will be further updates to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and it just worries me a little bit that people are just running away with this, and it's going to be
actually just bug fixes.
Yeah, or you can now fish. If you park up next to a lake, you can use the fishing rod from the Nintendo Labo and with one of the lakes, like just fling your rod outside the car.
You can now use your Wii U pad to control the game.
Yeah, and then next up, Game Boy. I don't know, man.
Next up, Virtual Boy.
I can't tell you how much I would love a massive update for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with new tracks. Like, I'd even be a little bit disappointed if it was just 4 Grand Prix trophies, if it or competition, whatever you want to call it. If it was 6 sets of new tracks, then I'd be happy.
Do you think
I'd
if they did that,
20 to 25 quid for that?
Put it on the Wii U? Or do you think they'll just...
No, I don't think they would. Okay. I don't think they'd put it on the Wii U for the 3 people that still playing Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U, to be honest with you. But no, for the Switch, oh god damn, that'd be so good. You've got nowhere to store it on the Wii U anyway, only about 12 megabytes of memory. And the final story I've got down here, I think this might have been announced before last week's show, but it's worth talking about because it was updated. The new Dead or Alive is to be more approachable and accessible this time round.
No.
And what they mean by that is that they're going to get rid of the sexualization of the characters, is what they're hinting at. But as a long-time Dead or Alive fan, someone who's played pretty much every Dead or Alive ever, and let me tell you this, they will release it and there will be a lot more clothes on all of the female characters, and then they will release DLC for each character which just gets rid of all the clothing, because that's what's always happened in these games. Dead or Alive 5 was horrific for that stuff. I mean, the costume, just Google, not at work, Dead or Alive 5 DLC and see the stuff that they were handing out afterwards. I mean, it's ridiculous. If this, there's too much money in it. I bet they made a ridiculous amount of money from perverts. I mean, I can judge all I want because I bought some myself, but it's, they will lose a fan in James Farley for a start. And I can't see them ploughing ahead with a more tame version of Dead or Alive. It's mad. Have you ever been a Dead or Alive fan, Capone?
No.
Good. All right then.
I think I remember the first one vaguely. It's really changed since then, hasn't it?
Yeah, thanks for that walk down memory lane there, Adam. That's great. Great bit of analysis of Dead or Alive. Yeah, I know. Oh, it's like the Retro Asylum. Tell you what, we'll kick off with our guest. Capone, what have you been playing this week?
Well, I've not actually played anything.
Have you played anything recently? It doesn't have to be this week because you've not been on the show for a long time.
God of War.
And did you like it?
Yeah, it's quite good. I actually played it beyond the campaign, so that's...
Did you kill the Valkyries?
Killed 2.
Okay. What did you think of the father-son relationship in that game?
Let me think.
If listeners just want to, make a cup of tea or something, we'll come back to Adam in about 30 seconds. So just,
it was quite naturally done, I thought, compared to a lot of other games. Like,
okay, is that it? Any other games on your list?
No, Adam, do you think, as it stands currently, is God of War up there for Game of the Year for you?
Yeah.
I mean, do you think anything's likely to beat it? Because I mean, it's not okay. It's obviously up there with the conversation with me, but I can't see anything else beating it in terms of scope and quality and like and the actual execution of it. Sure, nothing's going to come close to the level of craft and.
Is that your current Game of the Year?
It's certainly up there, but but in terms of like what it does and the craft and like the quality. And
no. What is this? You've said craft and quality twice. Is it one of your games of the year?
Yes, definitely.
It is top 5. But
I mean,
what else is
it
there,
top of your list at the moment, Matt?
I have to. Can I think about that?
Yeah. Okay. So Matt. So Adam's thinking and Matt's thinking. What shall I do?
I think Red Dead is going to be...
Yeah, obviously
Red Dead's not till next year, is it?
This year, October, which is really strange because we've not really
smash the
seen
shit
much
out of it then, isn't it? Right, okay, so any other games on your list to play?
I feel like there was Moss.
Oh yeah, do you play it on PSVR or Vive or what?
Oculus.
Oh, okay. Well, what do you think of it? Because I really enjoyed that game.
How long is the game?
It's fairly short. It's like 5 hours. Farley probably did it in 3 because it's Farley, but I think it took me like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, because I'm only half hour into it.
Okay.
And,
okay, any good?
There's like something to talk about it, but it's not that interesting.
There's something to talk about it. Okay, Matt, what have you been playing this week?
Adam.
Yeah.
No. Okay. What other like big VR games have you played recently? I know you've obviously got like Oculus, but how often do you actually use it, or are you just waiting for like the next big game, whatever that is?
Yeah, it's mainly waiting for that. I want to try that security game that just came out recently. What's that called?
Oh, I haven't heard that one.
It's been like in the making for 2 years.
Okay, so what do you think has been your most played game on Oculus, or what's like the game you think if someone says okay, I want to play an Oculus game, what's the game you'd recommend as like the best or one of the best games you've played in VR?
I think at the moment it's still that Super Hot and Robo Recall, isn't it?
Oh, Robo Recall, yeah. I mean, Super Hot, yeah, it's still amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. Well, did you play Counting? Is that Counting Inc. or did you play that one?
No, I've not played
loads of people
any
rave
of
about that
those
as well.
games. What else? There's a phone... It's definitely a phone game.
There's a phone game.
Adam, have you played any Fortnite?
Yep.
What do you think about Fortnite?
I've not got super into it because I struggle to play with online because I always get lumped into certain groups.
What does that mean?
Yeah, well, I'm scared now.
I'm not being racist.
Oh, okay. We should,
right. Okay.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
No. I mean, what? It's not.
It's not what?
I mean, I'm scared. Dave, what have you been playing?
No, it's not what?
Chinese people.
Right, okay, let's...
It's just that there's a barrier, right? Because I keep getting in those... Like, 'cause you can't really talk about tactics or anything because you can't understand.
Okay, is this because of your location in the world and the servers you get put into, and so you're in a lot of Asian servers? Is that the issue?
I don't know why, but like I've played about 20 times, and almost 15 times I've seemed to have been put into Asian servers. So
it should be about North America, right? I mean, anyway, yeah, it's a good game. Anything
Matt,
else?
what you been playing? Matt, what you been playing?
There was a missile, wasn't there?
We can't do any more of this. Yeah. Matt, what you been playing?
No. I finished the Banner Saga, the first one. I was really hoping Sean would be on this week because he's finished it as well, but he isn't, so we'll save that. And I thought, okay, I finished Banner Saga. You know, there's so many other games I want to play. I'm so excited to see what's next. And I immediately downloaded Banner Saga 2. So I've started playing that. Although I will say, instantly, I've only played like one battle in it. I maybe I shouldn't have expected it, but I sort of had hope for potentially larger changes, like some quality of life changes. And I played a battle in the second one, and it's exactly the same. I mean, maybe I shouldn't have expected that because I presume they're probably developed in conjunction or was one massive thing, cut up in pieces, whatever. But in my head, I thought, oh, well, maybe there'll be some changes, but it doesn't seem to be any right now. But the way the first one ended was really, really good. Love the story. And Sean and I've had conversations offline about who did what, and did you see his character, and did you save that character? And he's like, actually, that character didn't even join my team, or died early, or so on and so forth. So, yeah, and obviously, and you can obviously import your save into the second one to carry on. So, yeah, I'm gonna carry on. Actually, the third one's actually out on the 26th of July, so maybe I'll try and rinse the second one, and so I'm ready.
Can I ask them so are these old games?
So it actually came out on PC 2 or 3 years ago.
Right.
So on actually it may be even as early as 2014 on the PC. It's been quite a while, but now the third one's actually coming out, on the 26th of July. So I guess for PC owners, this is probably a huge moment. But for Switch, they've only just started releasing the first and second one in the last few months. So for Switch owners who haven't played on PC, it also is very new, and also it feels like they've got out the 3 episodes really quick. But yeah, if you're playing on PC, it's been years in the making. Third one's at the end of July, so I might see if I can just try and rinse the second one, get through it fairly quickly, so I'm ready for day one of the third one. But yeah, I've been so impressed with the game, and it's really super fiddly on Switch. We've sort of been over this, but anyway, I won't go over too much because maybe we'll talk about it next week. I've also I've gone back into Celeste, because Celeste is a game which I think is definitely one of the games of the year, and I really hope people don't forget about it when it comes to Game of the Year time. Obviously, we're a long way off that, but I absolutely love what I played of it previously, and I've gone back to it, and I've played a fair bit again today. I think I made 2 or 3 chapters from the end, so I'm definitely absolutely going to get that finished. It's totally changed the subject. Golf Story, that was last year, wasn't it? Or was that this year?
Golf Story was last year.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I know that's another one I want to play, and I wasn't sure if that's something from this year's game.
Yeah, well worth playing, man. That is a fun game. Have you played that, Capone?
Yeah, I've played that. I didn't
what did you
finish it. I only got to about halfway through.
Oh, really?
But yeah,
did you get to the scene where he's cooking dinner for the other coach?
No, but I remember you talking about it.
Yeah, that's the best bit.
It's probably because you talked about it so much that I stopped playing it, because I felt like I'd understood it all.
What do you mean? Well, what do you mean?
Because you were giving everything away and saying, "Oh, this is the best bit. This is the funny bit," and then
I didn't.
You ruined it.
Okay, sorry. Matt, anything else?
Yeah, so no, I'm going through Celeste and we'll get it finished. I obviously desperately want to play Yoku's as well, but I'm just done that at the moment. And I've been I've had retros over the last few weeks, so last few days. It feels like weeks. They won't listen to us. It's fine.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go for it.
Celeste, would you recommend that?
Celeste.
It's just Celeste.
Would you recommend that on Switch or PS4?
I mean, I've only played it on Switch. Farley's played it on PS4. I think whatever your preference.
Doesn't make a difference.
Okay. No, I mean, I go on Switch. I mean, maybe the PS4 one is better and high resolution, whatever. But I knew I'd play it more on Switch, and so yeah, I got it in there. I bet the versions probably aren't a different tool. But yeah, it's a fantastic game.
Fantastic Switch game. Because PlayStation won't let you play with other people, will they? So
no, that's a narrative. That's a narrative, all right.
That's satire.
Oh, it really is. David.
Topical. That's one. Yeah.
So I finished the Spectrum Retreat the other day.
Go on, Game of the Year?
No. I will say that I was actually quite disappointed with the way that the story went in the end. because I don't think it really works. Like the whole idea of I'm obviously not going to give it away, but the whole idea of what the hotel was and why you were in there it doesn't really make sense.
I'm looking forward to that game.
It's good. I mean, it's definitely worth playing. Don't get me wrong. Like I enjoy my time within it, and as I said last week, especially for the price tag, it's well worth buying. The puzzles they do. I mean, the last puzzle in the game is very clever, and it's clearly supposed to be the showpiece. But the problem is in that game, as I said last week, when you do get stuck, it's a pain in the arse. But if the level or the puzzle is particularly long, then there's a whole lot of repeating yourself that you need to do to get you back to the bit where it does go wrong.
So is that because of bad checkpointing or just because the puzzles are quite long?
Well, from what I did, no, the puzzles are quite short apart from the last one. And the last one, I mean, I didn't hit a checkpoint. So every time I restarted, I had to restart from the beginning again. And there's quite a bit of walking in that. But yeah, no, the ending didn't really work for me, and it wasn't where I thought it was going. And I thought there was so many opportunities to make it a lot more interesting and not, it wasn't an obvious ending. It was just a bit of okay, so that's what happened, rather than this big reveal or interesting. I think it was supposed to be a twist, but it didn't really work because you work it out way too quickly. And then it doesn't really work with where you are. It doesn't make you rethink your surroundings. Like we talk about with Rhyme, you know, there was definitely links to what you'd seen in the game at the end, whereas it just made you go, why would this all be set up for this person? This is bullshit.
What do you think of Rhyme, Adam? We haven't had you on since that. Did you play that?
Yeah, I think I've told you in the past.
I think what he was doing there, Capone, was trying to get you to say that again, but on a podcast so people could hear it rather than just say, yeah, I know, I text you about it, mate.
Oh, is that how it... Yeah,
that's how professionals do it, baby.
So, the actual game wasn't that... like, it was pretty simple, like, none of the puzzles...
Are you cooking?
No,
that's... Gordon Ramsaying it right now.
No, it's just Amber. She's playing around with cables. Can I be doing that? And
okay, right. Rhyme. Let's get back on the subject.
I love you.
Oh, okay, he's gone.
So,
did she say it back?
I'm doing a podcast for a video game show.
Okay.
Okay. So, Rhyme.
Does she exist? Is that bullshit?
This is not a Graham Hunter moment.
Go on.
Rhyme.
So, Rhyme, yeah. It went quite... How do I explain it? I think... No, I can't just say you covered it. That you covered it well, because that's like...
Okay. Well, what do you think of the ending?
The ending was not... Because you built it up to be, like, really... Like this big epic moment that how did you phrase it? You kind of
said that it reframes everything you've done. Yeah.
I got elements of that, but yeah, I wasn't totally sold on it. But it was better than I probably. No, I thought Last Guardian was better.
Oh God!
Because you're comparing it with that.
I don't think I was.
You totally were.
David, what else are you playing?
Yeah, so I mean, definitely worth picking up. Yeah, but don't expect it to be. I mean, I had high hopes for it based on what I played last week, but it fell a little bit short in terms of the narrative, which is a shame. But the puzzles were still worth the price of admission. The other game I've been playing this week is a bit of a strange one. It's going to be Matt's next favourite game, without a doubt. It's a game on the iPhone called Roblox.
Yeah, I'm aware of Roblox.
Right, how are you aware of it? Because I'd never heard of it before. And then my 7-year-old niece said, "Have you been playing Roblox?" And I said, "What the hell's that?" And then she showed me, so I downloaded it, and it's a big hit thing apparently.
Well, no, because they're basically sort of like Lego like people, aren't they? Like Roblox has been around for years. The actual like kids' toys, yeah.
Oh right, okay. So what Roblox the game is? It's not a game; it's a client. So the idea is that you download this client, and then it points you towards different games that you can play within it. The vast majority of them that you have to pay for. And apparently kids are absolutely obsessed with it, because I googled Roblox, and the first article that came up was how schools are trying to ban this and Fortnite at the moment because kids are too obsessed with it. Part of me was curious to see what this is that kids are getting obsessed with. Part of me wanted to just make sure that my niece wasn't getting into anything shady. And so far, I mean, it stinks of shade. Like, it really does. Like, I don't like it at all.
It's Slim Shady, is it?
Yeah, it's pure shady.
Well, it depends on the audience. I should just say that this is a Ubisoft game.
Oh, okay.
Is it really?
We've got our own representative here.
It doesn't say Ubisoft.
No, it wasn't developed, but it's published. They recently bought this game because, it's doing incredibly well.
It is doing incredibly well, but everything is money based. Like, it's...
Yeah, people are making money off this. Like, kids are making...
No, kids are spending.
Oh, sorry, yeah, that, of course, yeah, because it's people creating content for the game, and then kids can buy. But
then once you're in the game, it pushes further in-app purchases, like throughout everything.
Right, I've never actually played it.
Right. Secondly, there's a completely open, like, it feels like the game mode that I'm playing, I can't remember the name of it, but this is the one that all the kids are talking about. Bloxburg, it's called, and you might have heard of this, if you've got kids that are, you might want to watch them on it, because there's an open chat room in there, and it would appear that anyone can just talk to anyone. I mean, it feels very much like Second Life, but without all the real horrific shit that comes with Second Life. And at first I was a bit like, what is this all about? It's, you get a basic house to start with, and then you can build a house, and then you've got a character, and you've got to keep them, like, it's a little bit like The Sims, so they go hungry, and you've got to feed them, they get dirty, and you've got to wash them, they get tired, you've got to put them to bed.
Bloody hell, it's like real life.
Yeah, you can, I mean, my life in Bloxburg is way worse than my life in real life. Like, I'm constantly bored throughout, and I'm barely ever bored in real life for some reason. I always seem to be able to keep myself entertained. And
okay, there's a nice little insight there.
You like, it is. I mean, genuinely, I never get bored, because if, in my neutral times of existence, Matt, I would just go onto YouTube and watch poker videos at the moment. That's my current thing. When people say, I'm bored. Like, you're bored. There's like a billion things to be doing in the world. Yeah, I know, it's mental. So what I started out doing was just walking about, and then there's people just talking to you.
Is this in the game, or we...
In the game, okay. Yeah. People talking to you, and then it flashes up, hey, you need to go to work. And I was like, okay. So I was a cashier for a bit, and I'm doing well at that. I've been promoted 4 or 5 times, just serving people burgers. And then you leave, and it gives you some in-game currency for doing work, and stuff like that. And then I would go to bed and then wake up and go to work again. And it was just on repeat, basically. And when you work, it's a shit mini game where characters come up and ask for stuff, and you press the right buttons and then give them what they want. And that's kind of my job in the game. But I've kind of got... Is this weird, Matt? Is this weird? Because I did this for an hour today, where I would just spend all my time at work, come out with a shitload of money, and then just go up to random people in the game and just give it to them and walk off.
Yes, you're basically recreating the God's Plan video.
What's that?
That's a Drake song, don't worry about it. Yeah, that's a bit weird. But is this a kid's game, or just kids have latched onto it?
Well, I think you've got to be 13 plus to play it, because, but it's pretty easy to just put whatever date you want in there. And going by the chat in the open chat room bit, these are very young people playing this game. like very young people.
I feel uncomfortable just
what they're saying and stuff like that. Yeah, that stuff makes me feel uncomfortable, but I'm not chatting to them. I'm not like doing anything. I'm just rocking up and then giving them money because otherwise they'll be they'll be buying it with real money, and I don't want them to do that. So I'm quite happy doing this little mini game for, an hour or so, and then just handing out cash to everyone. It's maybe quite popular in the game. Maybe that's why I like it, because I'm actually quite a popular character. I rock up in my suit and I just hand cash out to people. That's my role in Roblox or whatever it is.
Sounds like a do game. Imagine a game where you go around and give people money.
A what game?
Imagine a game where you just go around and give people money.
This is exactly what I'm describing.
Yeah.
It's what I've been playing this week.
It sounds like a Molly.
I don't need to imagine it. Yeah. I mean, what I will say is this. If your young kid is sitting talking about playing Roblox and they're all playing Roblox or whatever, just keep an eye on it, because I felt uncomfortable being in there, and kids did not seem to understand that whatever they were saying in these chat rooms is going out to everyone. Like, my niece instantly said, "Hey Dave, it's Ruby," and I was like, shouldn't have said the name, and I was like, "Oh, I don't think you should really be just putting any details out there about yourself, like in this public open." I don't know, man. Maybe it's just I'm getting too much of a dad, but it just seems very weird to me. It doesn't feel like your kid playing Minecraft. Well, that stuff seems to be privatized and shut off in ways that this isn't. And yeah, it's made me feel a bit funny going into it, and knowing that these kids are going and playing this, it just don't feel right.
I've just googled this, and basically, apparently there's 40 million Roblox games within what they call in the Roblox container. That's
40
insane.
million?
Yeah.
I mean,
there's
when you
4
go
million
on it,
developers developing 40 million games. It's paying out 70 million this year alone to its developers, of which there could be any of its users creating games.
Yeah.
It's insane.
The ones that seem popular are Roblox, and Prison Life is the other one, I think. Prison Life is like
there's one called Jailbreak. Is that the one?
No, it's literally called Prison Life, where you're a policeman or a prisoner and you have to try and escape. But I played that for 2 seconds. What the weird thing is that the game is fucking garbage. Like, it's not fun to play. It makes no sense. You can barely read anything. Like, every game mode that I've played has been a complete mess, so you can't really control it. And you just think, why is it this that the kids are really getting into? Like, what is it about this that people are, is getting into people's brains and shit? I don't understand it. And maybe I'm not supposed to because I'm an adult, but at the same time, yeah, weird one. Weird one.
That's fucking mental. I mean, I sense a fad. I'm going to download it straight after the show.
Yeah, you're all over this. I was playing this just thinking,
I've always been telling you about Roblox, for Christ's sake.
The moment my niece come up to me and said, everyone at my school's playing Roblox, I went, Matt will be on that.
Why did you wait until now to tell me, Dave? I could have been there.
Because I wanted to hear live what you, if you'd heard of it.
Although the weird thing is, reading this article, in my mind, I thought Roblox was like a base of a toy, looks like a sort of Lego or Playmobil, but now maybe the toys are based off the game. I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking, because I was in a toy shop the other day and I noticed Roblox toys in there, and I was thinking, what? This is weird. I'd never even heard of this thing, and now they've already got merchandise in shops. So it's just one of these things that's flown under the radar.
I always thought Roblox was like sort of knockoff Lego, but maybe not.
That's called Playmobil, Matt. That's Playmobil.
No, it's actually called Wicked Blocks or whatever it is.
Wicked Blocks.
Wicked
Blocks. And that's what I've been playing this week. And that sums it up for all of us.
It really does. It's been quite the busy week.
Yeah, well, to be fair, the World Cup's over now, so
yeah,
we're going to be playing other games.
Love
We've got
Island's
a few games
going,
lined up.
That's over soon. It's raining now, so that's life over.
Strange that you don't get games around E3, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess. It's the summer, isn't it? And summer's never been busy for new video games, but there's a few on the horizon. There's that Earthfall that I'm really looking forward to.
That does look good.
So hopefully we'll hopefully we'll get to play that next week. I don't know. But yeah, are you still planning on getting Captain Toad, Matt?
No, probably not. I mean, it looks good. But probably not.
All right, then. Okay, let's get on to emails.
If you want to emails, if you want to leave us an email, it's thecomputergameshow@gmail.com. Oh, no, wait. We didn't get an email this week. We got loads of feedback in emails. We didn't actually get any questions. So we'll move on to Discord. If you want to leave us a Discord message. Oh, no, we didn't get any Discord messages. Some tweets. It's @ComputerGamePod on Twitter. If you want to leave us a tweet. Scotoma, @Scotoma Games, bit of free publicity for you there. Most unexpectedly scary moment in a non-horror game, lads.
Unexpected scary moment in a non-horror game. That is a good question. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind, although, you know, I mentioned it the other week when I played The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, I think it was. How that just went horrific halfway through. But then, because it didn't really feel like a horror game until that point. And then out of nowhere, I'm being chased down by something in a mine. Like, it was horrible. Horrible. So that's the one that really sticks out for me.
I mean, the obvious one for me is Gone Home. Like, the whole thing was played as if it was going to be, a horror / ghost game, whatever it was. So the whole time there's that tension. I'm like, oh, I hate this. This is unbearable.
Were you still feeling that? So you knew that, like, towards the end, you must have known, actually, no, it's not going to go with this supernatural stuff. I knew that even before,
because I was listening to Idle Thumbs at the time, and they were like, no, it's not a horror game. Yeah, there are no jump scares. It's not about that. It's about the story and this, that, and the other. So I even knew that. And I knew, again, I was listening to the podcast. So I knew that they were talking about the development and what they're doing and how do you use sounds and, the feeling of being in like a house on your own. That would be the scary, that would be what you'd scare you. It's not a horror game. So I knew that going in, but, maybe it's me being in a house on my own is scary enough for me. So that game was like, I wasn't a fan. And going up into the loft, oh my God, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I was awful. During
that's basically, I think the same as you. I basically rushed to the ending because I didn't even know what was happening. I was just run. I don't want to be in this fucking loft anymore. I mean, the bit like going up to the loft, is there like some like weird hidden staircase or like a weird going to the loft or going near the loft?
No. It's just it's one of those it's like one of those hatches that you pull down, the ladder comes down, but it's covered in fairy lights and
even
stuff.
That was scary. No, because there's like, I think it's like newspaper printed out or like stuck on the wall. Anyway, horrible stuff. Yeah, and that was literally just a dark. It's just literally an empty house. That was all it took to ship me up.
Capone,
hello.
Have you hello? Have you ever been scared by a non-horror game?
Do you remember School Days? On the Spectrum.
I mean, we do.
That's very...
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
very
I always used to get freaked out when Mr. Wacker, the headmaster, would try and take... Well, if you did something naughty and got caught and someone told on you, you'd have Mr. Wacker chasing you throughout the school halls.
Would he?
Yeah, and you'd only have a limited amount of time. And you'd sort of see him starting to make his journey towards you. And if he caught you, that was it, like game over. Like no checkpoints. That was it. So it was like really... That was in the days when losing a game actually meant the end.
I remember, meant the end. I remember, Fiendish Freddy's Big Top of Fun being really scary. During that definitely. Fiendish Freddy's Big Top of Fun?
Yeah, I heard the title. I don't know when did that come out?
What? You've never heard of this?
Well, I mean, how old is this game?
Well, it was Amiga, Atari ST. I had it on Atari ST.
Oh, it's gone, little boy.
Yeah, no, it was the diving one. I remember the diving one being horrific because not only would the clown... Now, I'm not afraid of clowns, so like they've never bothered me. But for some reason, Fiendish Freddy did. Him coming in with the diving one, so you dive down and you had to try and stay in the middle to land inside the little pool of water that got smaller. I think the last one was just like a little pint glass that you had to dive into. And then Fiendish Freddy would like come in and like try and push you off the side of the screen with a big fan, and you had to fight against that. But it was that, but also the idea of just diving into a pint glass used to freak me out as a kid. It was like, oh my god, if you're just slightly out, you're dead. Like, it was horrible.
I get that, yeah.
Yeah, it was, that game used to freak me out as a kid big time, but I played it all the time, so, you know.
I guess the other one for me, we definitely mentioned it, it's just getting chased in video games. Like, at the end of, I think it's Celeste Chapter 2 or 3.
Oh yeah, you hated that,
I just hate, I mean, actually, when I was doing my Dark Souls run, I had to, like, grind 500,000 souls towards the end to, like, level up my faith, etc., etc. And to do that, you basically went to, I mean, I should know because I did it for hours, but I think I wanted to go to, like, Dark Root Basin. It was basically like a big forest area in the game. And I basically
with those characters in it.
What's that?
Yeah, with those characters in it.
And basically what you do is you basically go there, you try and aggro all the characters so they all chase you, and you get to a certain point, and basically they essentially jump off the cliff and you get all the souls for free, and you rinse that for hours, and you got the souls you want. But that was basically like hours of me being chased. And even towards the end of that, I was like, I just hate, I can't describe it, I fucking hate it.
I think I asked you at the time, but what about when we went, airsoft for your stag do? And there was one mission where it was just you running through a forest and everyone chasing you. Wasn't that freaking you out?
No, because everyone's hungover, so I knew you wouldn't be able to catch me. And also,
no, I don't know, you got shot to shit,
yeah, I did get shot to shit, but in classic Mad Mario fashion, I basically hid for ages, and you guys had all gone back to, like, the car for your hot dogs and tea, whatever it was, or beer. And I was still in the forest with, like, bleeding hands, because I'd gone over, like, holly bushes and all sorts of shit. And eventually, like, 10 minutes later, I'm like, hey, you didn't get me. It's like, yeah, mate, everyone got bored of that, like, half an hour ago.
Yeah, and then we all turned around and shot you.
Yeah.
Weren't you the one didn't you go missing at one point because you were being sick in a bush as well?
I mean, that may or may not have happened. It was the Friday night was heavy.
Next question.
Ben Syme, an old classic that came up at Scientologists on Twitter, of course. An old classic that came up today on the Discord due to the Nathan Fillion Uncharted short was what video game would you like to see made into a film that could you think actually be done realistically quite well?
I mean, there's not really anything that you could sit back at. I mean, Mass Effect.
I don't think that's the case.
I'd love to see a Mass Effect film.
Yeah, that's possible.
But for someone who's not seen Star Wars, that's a pretty horrific thing to say. I understand that, but I love the universe in that, so I'd like to see a good.
So you think it's the characters you want to see brought to life? It's
the characters rather than just a space adventure. I'd love to see those races portrayed on the silver screen, Matt.
Oh yeah, won't we all? I mean, but I actually think like anything could be good with the right people behind it.
Yeah, I know, but that's not the question, is it? Which one sticks out for you?
Yeah, Adam.
The Witness.
Really?
What? That would be an amazing film.
What, just loads of fucking puzzles?
Oh, no,
wouldn't it just be like... The Witness without the puzzles?
So it's the island.
Just
without
the island,
DiCaprio.
you know, it'd be
without
like Lost,
DiCaprio,
wouldn't it?
Someone goes downstairs and then they unlock a little video and about science or whatever, and then that's it, is it? The credits roll?
Well, no, they go around like and picking up tapes, and then they listen to the tapes, and it reveals like backstory about the island.
Okay, yeah, okay.
I mean,
Matt?
I guess I haven't played it enough, obviously, and there's going to be a Netflix series, but The Witcher feels right for that sort of stuff, surely.
Yeah, I think you're right with that. But funnily enough, though, I don't think that any of this stuff will be. I don't think anything will better the Mario film that's in the works. I reckon that is going to be fucking brilliant. Genuinely, I think it's going to be big. Can't wait.
I mean, it's got the right team behind it. I mean, but there's also going to be a Sonic one with like Jim Carrey as.
Yeah,
I do not like the sound of that.
Looking forward to the Sonic one, strangely.
Yeah, but to laugh at it or to enjoy it.
But that's from the same studio, isn't it? It's from the same people who did Minions, so.
Yeah, but isn't it live action?
I don't know if they confirm that, have they? It's live action.
It's like,
like, do you remember Hop?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So animated character within a live action world.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's gonna be bad.
Yeah,
it's gonna be bad.
Well, why would they do that? I guess so Sonic can kiss a human again or something weird, can he?
Who's asking for a Sonic? Like, you can, like, Nintendo, big resurgence from them. Mario Odyssey, massive.
It's a character that people know, so why not try and mince it?
I think to make the Sonic movie work, you'd have to know that it's a ridiculous idea and sort of make fun of the idea that it's a Sonic movie.
But the thing is, the internet's been making fun of Sonic for years now. So it's not like they're going to come up with a new way of aren't we funny having a go at Sonic? No, we've all been doing that for years, mate.
Yeah, but you say
but most people.
But I'm sure didn't the Smurfs movies do really well, and they were animated with live action. Who knows?
Well,
I'm excited to see both of them.
But they were critically.
So what are you thinking? What were you going to end that sentence with, Matt? They're blue.
I was just saying, they were animated characters in the real life world, and they did alright, and they're the Smurfs for Christ's sake. I just want to see Jim Carrey as Robotnik. It excites me. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Curtis at Luke Cage H4H. With the fan favourites not on this week, why bother? Well, that's a bit harsh. Also, which soap is better, Home and Away or Neighbours? I mean, I
never watched these. I didn't watch either of them.
Neighbours definitely is.
Home and Away?
Was Home and Away that had a whole episode based on a dog's dream?
I don't know. Home and Away was on ITV. That's all we need to know. And BBC.
I think Home and Away was the one with the dog's dream. So whichever one that one was.
Isn't it Neighbours with Bouncer the dog was having a dream?
It might be Neighbours then. Yeah. Neighbours is better than
my biggest memory of Neighbours is I think I was ill and I was at home watching with my mum when I was young, and I still remember crying when that boy, I think his name was Josh, he must have got paint in his eyes, and it wasn't like a PJ and Duncan style. He had paint in his eyes, and they had loads of operations, or it would come to the moment where he was in the hospital bed taking the bandages off, and he took the bandages off and he still couldn't see. And oh my god, my heart broke.
Died. Do you remember? I was saying, Joe said this to me the other day. Do you remember when you were of an age where you would go out on a Saturday night, get absolutely wrecked, and on a Sunday morning you would sit and watch Hollyoaks Omnibus for no other reason other than that you couldn't be bothered to stand up and turn it off? It was just you could not.
Is Hollyoaks still going?
Probably.
Well, I don't really have that TV.
I think it is. Oh, big fan.
Someone was telling me about a storyline from it the other day.
Why? What, in Canada? Is it a big hit in Canada?
Is it blown up over there?
No, I was talking to someone in England.
Another
someone
friend.
With the A word.
What?
Autism.
Okay.
And
right, okay.
So they're going around talking to people at bus stops and stuff.
Okay.
It sounds like I'm making this up, but I'm not. There's a person with autism going around who's just talking to everyone, and I don't know how that plays into the bigger storyline. But if you don't believe me, Google it.
I'm not sure.
I'll probably watch it.
Gareth Cutliff at Cutty1427. If you could borrow or steal a member of any other video games podcast for a month to record a few episodes with, who would it be?
Oh, Jesus. If I could borrow or steal...
I'm going to change that, and how about anyone from games podcasting that's ever done it? Because that's surely more exciting, because,
Well, okay, right. So if it's that, then it's probably Jeff Green or
Sean
John Davison.
Sean Elliott.
Or Sean Elliott, or Shane Bettenhausen.
Shane Bettenhausen, yeah. This is like the one-up the golden age.
Yeah, it'd be one of them. I've always wanted to get Simon Miller on. He's never been able to make it. I've always wanted to get Joe Screbbles on. He's never been able to make it, although he did do the Switch hands-on show with us. Tomorrow, I love him. I love having him on. But I mean, from current podcasting, no one. I mean, we've got the best ones.
It's sort of silly to go elsewhere.
Do you know who I'd love to see you with, Dave? You know that Hubert? Off.
Well, I know Hubert and I know Hubert, but I don't know which one you're talking about.
Hubert from Easy Allies, who's really over hype guy. Easy Allies.
What do you think would happen? Why do you want to see us together?
Because I think he's really positive about everything. He's like, oh, this is the best game. And then you'd say, no.
Unless it was an indie game.
Just go
that sounds like a great podcast.
Just go back and forth. He'd be like, did you see that? It was amazing. You'd be like, yeah, that's right. And then,
can we have some more impressions from you? Can you do an impression of James Farley?
Yeah, that's all right.
And now Sean Bell?
Yeah, I know.
I don't. Okay.
Now Matt Murray, please.
Get come and get in. Give me 5 seconds.
Right, yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Send in those tweets.
Nailed it. Yeah, that's uncanny.
And now finally, David Turner.
Oh, you chicken. Please.
Chicken?
Did you say chicken?
Did you just say chicken?
Oh, I can't do impressions.
No, we
I don't know. I disagree. Sean's one was amazing. Okay, next question.
Okay.
Oodles O'Crim on Twitter. To everyone, what 3 games were your Desert Island disc games? Any console, any generation, forget the logistics and science behind it.
Right, okay, so obviously that means that we can include online games, right?
Yeah.
So my first game has to be, without a doubt, Rocket League, because I can play that all day, every day, no matter what. That is on my list.
I'll tell you one thing, you watched the World Cup final, didn't you? Did you see the Rocket League advert in the middle of it?
No.
I was like, in one of the breaks, like, I think maybe half time, there's like an actual Rocket League advert.
Wait, Matt. You've just exposed yourself as a fucking idiot.
Why?
Did you really watch the World Cup final on ITV?
Oh, maybe it's a semi. Or no, or maybe, no.
Oh, come on, Matt. You've just exposed yourself as a half
No, because I watched it on iPlayer and UHD, up yours. Actually, so maybe it's like the third and fourth place playoff. No, actually, I thought I was really impressed that maybe, I don't know. I watched that on iPlayer, so it wasn't the final, so maybe it was another game. But yeah, I couldn't believe there was a Rocket League advert in the middle of the football.
Well, there was a Fortnite dance right in the World Cup final, Matt. I think that was a little bit more impressive, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, that's way more common than like a Rocket League ad. Whatever.
What else? I'd need a shooter, and I'll be honest with you, I've been, on the brink of trying Titanfall out again. It's been a while since I booted that up. But then maybe Destiny. Maybe Destiny would take that.
Yeah, I was thinking Destiny.
Because
if we forget the science and they keep updating it, then there will always be stuff to do, I guess. And it just feels so good to shoot. So Destiny's a good one.
And also I like the PvP stuff on that, so that could get me through. So yeah, I think probably Destiny. What would the last game be? Shit. Oh, Freeze, right? It's got to be Freeze. Yeah, of course. That game, yeah. I mean, I'm still playing that every day. Way too much.
I can't believe you're still playing it every day.
I'll check how many games I'm up to now. But go on, Matt.
Rocket League, that's nailed on because it's so fun to play.
Matt, you never play Rocket League.
What?
You never play it.
But I'm not on a desert island.
Oh,
that's what the question is. Because the skill ceiling is really high. I still can't fly, but it's just still immensely fun. Doesn't matter how many hours of that game you've played. Scoring a goal or saving a goal or doing whatever you do in the last second of the game is just incredible. So Rocket League, probably Mario 64, just because I don't think I'd ever get bored of that game.
Mario 64?
Yes, Dave, Mario 64.
Over Odyssey?
Well, Mario 64 has like the more emotional. If I think what Mario game, Mario 64 was the first one I think about.
Okay.
I don't know, that was an amazing moment when that game came out. That changed everything. I remember seeing that for the first time. It was like, oh my god.
Yeah, but okay, all right, but you only allowed 3. Okay, all right, for the rest of your life.
That's 2. So yeah, so Rocket League, Mario 64, and I mean, it'll have to be a football game, I think. And
but it doesn't Rocket League scratch that itch for you?
I guess it probably does. I mean, what other game it would be? I guess it may. I have to be saying, I guess I won't get bored of. So maybe I'll go
disc driving.
Not the second one, and maybe not the first one either. Yeah, Disc-Rome 2 is poo. So that's a tough one. I mean, in my head now, I'm thinking, like, why not choose like a massive RPG because there's so much game to play. I'll tell you what.
It's true.
The Witcher 3.
There we go.
Adam.
16,782 games.
Are you going to do a stream for 20,000?
Yeah, if I get there, which I will, probably next week. Go on.
Adam.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Well, it could be Pat, but yeah.
It's not out yet, but go on.
He says forget the logistics, so that's fine.
Well, good point.
The Witness.
Yeah,
okay.
good on. Because you're on a desert island, but you can be watching and playing on a desert island as well.
Yeah, that could be quite cool.
You like The Witness, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, thought so. Go on.
So I've got one more.
Yes, that's...
Rocket League.
Okay. Right, next
Andy
question.
Godwin, in your backlog of games, which one makes you feel the most guilty for not playing it? Witcher 3 for me, next.
Right now, probably Celeste. Like, because I know that I'll love it, but I've just not played it for whatever reason. I think I missed just like the launch window of it, and I just haven't gone back. But I will. Yeah,
you definitely
go
do
back
it for the end of the year.
Yeah, for sure.
Adam,
can you repeat the question?
In your backlog of games, which one makes you feel the most guilty for not playing it?
I'd say one of them is Pyre. The Supercell game.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the Owl Boy.
The Amel Boy.
Owl Boy.
Owl Boy.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's a game. It came out. It's like massive development. Loads of people raving about it, and eventually came out this year, right, Adam?
Yeah, it
was
came
it
out
last
this
year?
Yeah. And I'd also say the games that you keep going on about.
Okay, next question.
Right, we're going to do the last one now. Ben Naylor, at Naylor Ben, you're in hell and you must watch one of the following on a loop for eternity. Is it extra time of England versus Croatia, or is it Nintendo's 2018 E3 Smash Brothers presentation?
Oh, God.
Now, just before we answer yours, Farley is not on tonight, as we know. He's already answered it, saying absolutely England v Croatia.
No, for me it's got to be this. It's got to be the Smash Brothers thing,
because there's no emotion.
I can't watch that again.
Fine.
Jesus Christ, I've never felt so bad after a football match in my life, and I've seen a lot of bad football. That one absolutely killed me. So no, no.
Adam.
Adam.
So which way?
You either watch England's semi-final loss against Croatia, or do you watch Nintendo's E3 presentation again?
Well, I've got no desire for football, but I'd still prefer to watch the Nintendo conference because it's it's more interesting. Like it's got like characters on it and stuff.
Yeah, it has got characters, isn't it? Good answer. Right.
Actually,
okay.
No, I said that's the last one, but this one's interesting, so I'm going to answer it. Athene Allen, who's the hairiest member of the pod? Now, I thought that was an interesting question when I read that.
You're not hairy, are you, Matt?
No, not at all. No.
So yeah, I know. I've definitely seen you without a top on, and noticed that you've got no hair there.
Yeah, well, nothing.
When we went on the flumes and that's where I saw it.
Yeah, you saw the lot, didn't you? You saw the lot.
Saw it all, Matt. I think I'm relatively hairy.
I think it's probably Sean.
You think? Why? You think underneath that top he's got a lot of hair?
No, I think maybe I've seen his hairy chest, or maybe I'm imagining it. I'm not sure, but I have.
James is not hairy, I don't think, because James is like I don't know. He's got baby face, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen James with his top off or trousers off, actually, for that matter. I'm going to say probably Sean. Obviously, Sean's not here, and neither is James to comment, so we'll follow this up next week for reals. But yeah, certainly not me.
You think Sean? I think it is between Sean and probably me, because I've got a bit of a hairy back and I've got a bit of a hairy chest, but not mental. It's like, it's like Alan Partridge, just sort of a bit in the middle and then leans down to the main area. Yeah, but No, I
Adam, who do you think is the
also I
hairiest
shave
member
quite a
of the
bit
pod?
down there. What was that?
I was asking Adam who he thinks.
I reckon Capone's quite hairy.
Yeah, I know for a fact he is, actually. Well, he used to be.
It's hard to record it, really, isn't it? There's so many factors into this question. You can't really. You'll never know.
What are the factors? What's going through your head?
Well, where does it appear? Right.
Go on.
Is it on the chest?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's one location.
I mean, I've got some on the back of my wrist.
Why? What? Just on your hand? Yeah, I've got that. I mean, everyone's got that. At the top bit of their hand. The wrist, yeah. The back of the wrist.
That confused me too. The back of the wrist.
Just next to the veins.
Veins to the front of the wrist, on the actual wrist bit.
To the side of the wrist.
Okay, let's move on. Thank you, Adam.
That's enough.
Let's do. Okay, here's a social bit, but I'm going to catch you up on underwears. We're doing a live show at EGX this year. If you're in the area or if you want to go to EGX, we're playing on Saturday, 22nd of September, 5 till 7. Go to egx.net/EGX/tickets, or whatever. Just go wherever you want and get tickets. You just need a day ticket to see us. We'll love to see you there. 5 till 7. It's going to be wild. The podcast is available on every podcast service known to man. Google Podcasts if you're on Android, Apple Podcasts. It's on Spotify. We've got Discord. Just search for us on Discord or go to bit.ly/TGCS Discord. And we'd love your Apple Podcast reviews because they really do mean a lot. I know I ask every week and you put for fuck's sake, mate, stop talking about it. But, just one or two or, however many we can get, it really does help us push up the charts and we can get, more people hearing the show and whatnot. So we really appreciate any review. It just takes our 5 seconds to do. And that's it. And also, Kickstarter. My God, if I've sent you an email and you haven't responded to the email or message, please do because we want to get these bad boys ordered.
Yes. And hopefully we'll be back next week with a full cast. Capone, thanks for joining us this week. Have you got anything you want to plug?
No.
Okay, thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week with the full cast, hopefully. Much love. Thanks for living it. Good night. Goodbye. See you soon. Goodbye.
Good night.
Bye.
Adam?
Oh. Yep, bye.